Yes, the stock market has crashed temporarily, but that is all part of the plan. It's simple economics, okay? If the stock market goes down and down and down and down and down, that means there's nowhere to go but up, or perhaps further down. But we gotta do these tariffs, folks. We have to. No idea why, but we have to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn and brace yourselves, because we need to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. And let me tell you something right off the bat. The Switch doesn't need to be a good console. That's right. It doesn't have to be powerful, modern, or even remotely competitive. People will buy it anyway just to play Nintendo exclusives. That's the reality. Now look, I wouldn't recommend the Switch 2 to anybody who doesn't give a damn about Mario, Zelda, or Donkey Kong. If you're just a gamer who wants the best value, the Steam Deck eats this thing alive. It's infinitely better for the price. But if you want to play Nintendo's golden lineup, what choice do we even have? I've been gaming my whole life. My first console was a Game Boy. I've rocked every Nintendo handheld from the brick days to the 3DS. That's what pulled me in. But let me tell you, the original Switch, I sold it. Too heavy. The Switch Lite, perfect weight. A handheld should be easy to grip, light enough for long sessions. This new Switch 2, it weighs more than a pound. That's going to wreck your hands. You think little kids are going to play this thing for hours and not get long-term wrist damage? I've got carpal tunnel from gaming. I had to take a year off just to heal. Nintendo clearly didn't learn a damn thing. And then we hit the price. $450 to $500. That's not family friendly. That's daylight robbery. And let's not even start on the games being $80 to $100. You're telling me a game costs almost the price of an Xbox Series S? Something is seriously broken here. Let me put this in perspective, at least for my Aussies out there. The Switch One launched in the US for $299.99. In Australia, $469.95. That's like 20% more. Switch 2 now, US price, $449.99. Australia, $700. What's going on here? Are we dealing with tariffs from the US on Japan? Exchange rate roulette? No one has a straight answer. I saw one guy on a political show saying, "No negotiations. We're hitting tariffs on the 9th." And at the exact same time, another guy says, "Oh yeah, we're negotiating with everyone." It's like watching a clown show in Washington. Now here's the twist. Performance-wise, the Switch 2 is surprisingly solid. It beats the PS4. It runs 120 frames per second in 1080p, supports DLSS, and even does 4K while docked. But let's be honest, none of that matters if the games still run like crap. Cyberpunk? Ugly. Frame dips. Disorienting combat. This is not the miracle upgrade fans were praying for. And Elden Ring in the trailer? That didn't look like 60 FPS. That looked like 30. Even the Steam Deck runs Elden Ring with similar performance, and it's built on more efficient tech. The Switch 2 is using an 8nm Samsung node. That's garbage compared to the Deck's 6nm TSMC process. It has a 5,220 mAh battery. Sounds big, right? But it has to work twice as hard. The Deck OLED has a 55-watt-hour battery. Nintendo's quoting 2 to 6 hours of playtime. So heavy games? You're lucky to get 2. And don't even try comparing power draw. This thing operates around 8 to 9 watts thermal design power. Sure, it's ARM, but come on. It's not that efficient. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's talk games. What are we getting? Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Cyberpunk, Elden Ring, Kirby Air Riders. And yes, I'll still fork out $80 for the next Zelda or Mario. It's sad, but these are once-in-a-decade experiences. We can't miss them. It's tradition. We're 90s kids, man. We were raised on these games. But when GTA 6 hits $80 to $100, this whole thing will become the new norm. And yet, Nintendo has not been hit by those massive dev costs like other studios. They keep costs low, profit margins sky high. They pull in a third of PlayStation's revenue, yet beat them in profits, $3.25 billion versus Sony's $2.7 billion. Insane. So when Nintendo raises prices, it's not out of necessity, it's greed. If you're giving us a full-blown Zelda or Mario Epic, fine. But don't sell us indie-level games or reskins for $80. That's criminal. Also, pricing varies by language. Japanese-only versions cost less. That's a problem. Will Japanese purchased games include English? Are they region-locked? If physical games become Japan-only, that's a big problem for importers and multi-language players. We're seeing more and more Japanese-only titles despite global versions existing. And supports 4K? What does that even mean anymore? That's marketing BS. A low-end GPU can say, supports 4K, but that doesn't mean it can run anything at that res. Hell, the PS5 supports 8K. That's a joke. It barely does 4K natively. Now, here's something new. Switch 2 is the first console with AI tech as a standard. DLSS built in. That could help. Developers can finally optimize around upscaling. But again, third-party titles will probably suffer. And let's not pretend this isn't misleading. This type of vague, hyped-up marketing. It's rampant now. Hard to trust any of it. Funny thing is, the Switch 2 doesn't even have a gimmick this time. Steam Deck, ROG Ally, PS Portal, they've...
Everyone's worried about prices going up, especially the price of groceries. Am I saying that right? Food from the grocery store. Such an old-fashioned term. But we need to send a message to countries who have been ripping us off, like South Africa. South Africa puts a 60% tariff on everything we send them. And they've never even sent us one good thing. What about me? Kidding. Legalized comedy.
That was from when I tried to buy the election in Wisconsin. I'm an idiot. I should have just bought Wisconsin. Glitch. Pinwheel. And I'm back.